Got a lot done in the last couple days. This is how I mark the frets. I basically put a center line down, um, and then yeah, basically what you see. I use the little goggles so I get right on the money. It's pretty straightforward. I take liberties to make sure that it's not going to move. There's only so much you can tape it up, though. I mean, you do have to use it. So I move the tape around a little bit, and I double check. I mean, the thing is, I make it a point to mark all the lines right and then take a break and then check them again. And then basically I flip it. I flip the neck around and I do the other side. This is another step too. I do the razor twice. So I use the goggles. I make sure I mark it really good. I think I use the goggles for the second time around too, even. And then after that, it's basically just scoring the corner really good that you're going to pull from and then sawing it with the saw. And then the saw I do at least twice, if not three times. It depends on what you're putting in, and it depends on the wood. And this is very important because you can get away with a lot with maple, but you can't necessarily get away with that with another wood. Maple will just eat it up, and you could just press it right in. The rosewood, I found that you could pretty much press it right in. It's not like I've really worked with too many species of wood. The ebonies, some ebonies will just spit your fret back out. And these ended up being bronze frets. I used the Sintons, and they're large. They're huge. So this thing got turquoise fret markers, which I couldn't rebuy because I couldn't find them. So this might be the only one. It's a very sad thing, but I'll look for them, and maybe I'll just, if I can't buy them, I'll just make them. So, and that way I'll know that they're 100% real. I mean, these are really good looking, and they look real, and they're from somebody that sells the stone. And I actually got more. That I just couldn't find dots. I got some really neat turquoise squares, and I think I'll use those as diamonds. I don't really know how those are done. And I have a Dremel, and I have all these tools that I haven't used yet. But I like the flat fretboards, and I can't see myself doing anything but a flat fretboard for myself. Although maybe I'll I mean, definitely for a customer I would, but I'm working on getting this neck a little bit smaller. This is very much more close to a Fender instrument. Still a little big. I didn't quite leave a 16th of an inch on each side, but I left it, at least a 32nd on each side. So it's going to be still a hefty neck, like for anyone else, but for me, this will be a small neck. And I usually always bubble the frets, but I'm almost thinking that maybe I should bevel these frets a little, at least a little bit. I'm not really into beveling them. I usually just do the sphere thing, and but yeah, these are large, large, large frets. They are the special bronze, And I guess they tried. It looks just like StuMac Gold Evo. I even called them and or emailed them and had a back and forth with them, and insisted to them that they were trying to sell me Gold Evo as something special. And no, no, these are real bronze. And I guess what they do is they try to make it like Bell bronze, so that's why it's gold. But to my recollection, Bell bronze wasn't exactly gold. It was almost like a almost a goldish titanium, gold, but not metallic gold, more like a dusty gold, which these are not. These are very, they're extremely gold. But I guess they're supposed to be bell bronze. So, which I don't know if it seems like they always made bells out of brass. And there's bell brass, but I don't know. We'll figure it out and we'll find out. It seems like the frets are a lot harder than Gold Evo, or they're brittle. When I went to cut them, they pinched really bad. It was super hard to cut, and it ruined the tang. So I had to go out and like get the tang nippers. Like I have tang nippers. I've never used them before. But this time I had to like snip the tang off, and I thought, well, this will be fine. There's no binding on it, but there'll never be any fret sprout, I guess. And it's a maple fretboard, so it gets a finish. Um, and that's another thing. I have to work out the procedure and the 1, 2, 3s of doing that, which I've only done one maple fretboard, and I think I literally finished it before I put the frets in or even slotted it. I think I think what I did was I put the radius on, I super polished it, and then I put the lacquer on and tape over that, and I think I marked it, scored it, and just like you seen at the beginning of the video. But I think I'm going to do all the fretwork. I'm going to make the nut, and I'm either going to go down and buy a can of lacquer or this is going to be super glue. But I mean, I don't know yet. The polyurethane is nice too. I mean, this took a while, but basically it's cut. It's cut about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom, but still, there's no good way to get this out. I thought about doing it with last time I used a chisel, but then that was because I couldn't mess with the body. This time I did it this way because in the end it's got to come out some ways, and I'm scared of tear out. Like when I put the nut slot through, some of the maple tore out, and it was on a piece that was coming out anyway, so it was no big deal. You always leave yourself as much room as possible. Um, but yeah, I mean, things are going pretty good. I have a hard time even tearing myself away from the thing because it looks so great. I almost, instead of doing this, I almost just went back to work. But I'm just scared that I'll have a boo boo if I try to use the router. And anything else is just going to jeopardize it. So I just spent the time it took to just grind it away, even though there's a nice flat level surface there because I took the saw to it, which was very nerve-wracking. Um, I'm always really nervous when I'm taking an electrical saw to a guitar. It just doesn't feel right. I got this kind of straight. There's still a couple hours left in shaping this headstock and grooming it so I can get the holes in. Um, really excited about it. It looks like it's going to be perfect. Here we got the deer. So yeah, there's this years ago I've seen this doe and she had twin fawns, and they were both nursing off of her. And I thought, well, those are real twins. And now I see multiple sets of twins. So today there was two different sets of baby twins from two different mothers, and I'm kind of noticing that some of the other deers are their twin siblings. So there's more than two sets. There's only two sets with the spots still on them, and there's another two from last year, and I think even some of the older does have. I think maybe even even this guy, his twin is the doe that runs him off, and she's mean, man. I thought she killed him, because she runs him off all the time, but sometimes she doesn't get my attention, so she'll actually go get him and scare him back into the yard, or go get one of like the little one from last year. And but yeah, he is a character, just an absolute character. Never used to see the bucks around like we do now. Last couple of years, I've even caught them. Like I've caught two bucks about to fight, but I don't think they really fight in most cases. I think they just like bicker with each other, and what I caught was just almost fighting, just and then the one went off with the doe. I did a little bit of work on this. It still needs a lot of work. There's still like a little bit of a flat before the angle there. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do about that. I could just change the angle that little bit. That is a lot of work. Uh, Either way, I have to do it, I think, before I do the holes. Um, so yeah, I think that maybe even do the neck carve and everything else, but I don't know. I'm nervous about finishing the fretboard. As you can see, it looks really good, and the reason why I think so hard about procedure is you have to do things in the right way, otherwise you're going to pay the price. Um, I run out of I don't get the entire thing. And basically, I spent the rest of the night taking the ends off so they're not sharp, and putting super glue in the cracks. I still have a lot of sanding and shaping, and I have all the fretwork to do. So I have the ends to do. I have the leveling and the crowning, and then the finish. I think maybe the finish is the one thing that I can wait on, but no, I'm scared about that. I'll get the poly on it, and so yeah, I think I'm gonna do the fretwork 100%, and then either super glue, finish, or lacquer or polyurethane. I haven't decided, but then after I do that, it'll get taped off, and then I'll start working on getting it jointed into the top, which I've thought heavily about and haven't made too many decisions. I'm on the fence until I have to make a move, and then better or worse, I just decide. Um, it's going to be one hell of an instrument. I know like already like this is going to be an incredible instrument. Um, I can tell when I look at something too. Like after I mark the frets, I'll look, and before I check it again with the ruler, I'll look at it with my eyes. I can usually tell if something's off. In fact, usually when I catch something, it's by eye. Um, so yeah, we're almost out of time here. Thank you.